So I'm here with TJ Doheny following the press conference with Inoue ahead of a massive main event on Saturday night. What did you make of the presser today? It was a bit heated last time.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth going on between the undercard, all right. So probably took the pressure off me and Nick Ball. It was a little bit more respectful than last time, But I think what happened was we had set our piece back in December. We're 2 days out from a fight. There's no need for the back and forth. Talking's being done. It's just time to put the words away and put the actions in the weekend.
And yeah, it was more respectful during the presser, but I was right next to you when you were doing that face-off, and it was quite tense. Is that kind of a sign of things to come on Saturday night?
Look, it's just facing off. You just let each other know, what you're in for at the weekend. Don't need to be doing it for the cameras. You know what I mean? Do it eye to eye, face to face, and that's what we did.
Does it matter the face-off?
No, it's all fugazi. It's all for the cameras, for the promotion and all that stuff. But it is nice. It is what I like about the face off. You get to size them up. You know what I mean? And it does help you because you go through a lot of shit in your mind, like the way the fight's going to play out and stuff. And then just once you come face to face, you can kind of size each other up, and it kind of relaxes you, makes you feel a little bit better about everything.
You mentioned you were sizing them up. Obviously, you're coming up in weight, but you are the taller man. How do you kind of assess it in that?
Yeah, I'm the taller man. But look, he's small and he's stocky, but he fights well to his stature. You know what I mean? He's good that way. He's a good little pressure fighter. But yeah, me coming up in weight, like I said in the last press conference, even though I'm coming up, I'm the bigger, stronger man at the weight. I probably should have been at featherweight a little longer, but all those big opportunities were coming at 122, so I used to have to boil down to get to there. So but that's why I'm blessed to have this opportunity at 126, and I'm going to be a much stronger, better fighter in there because of that extra 4 pounds. Because it's to the average Joe, 4 pounds is nothing, but when you're coming up in weight and in boxing terms, that extra 4 pounds can be a major difference.
How do you assess the matchup? In the last presser, you said you think you can knock him out. He's obviously known for being a big power puncher. Do you think it will kind of just be fire meets fire?
I think he's known more for his output and his pressure, as opposed to like his power punches. I think, like when I was saying I knock him out, it's no secret. I got power in both hands, and if you get reckless, you want to run onto something, it's going to be an early night for you. But I think in this camp, we've been focusing more on my boxing ability and my skills, which is sometimes I tend to neglect. And my coach has to rope me back in because I love a tear up. And we've been focusing on that. So it's going to be a good clash of styles in terms of mix the pressure fighter, and I'm the silky slick southpaw boxer. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a good fight, and going to be very interesting to watch it unfold as the fight plays on. Because I can fight, I can box, I can punch. So it's not just going to be a monotonous fight for the whole thing. It's going to be a lot of change ups and a lot of change in momentum in the fight, I reckon.
Obviously, I saw there was a comment you made up there where Dev said, "Do you think he's the best British fighter?" And you kind of said, "Yeah, everyone thinks he's great," kind of sarcastically. But do you think maybe people are hyping him up too much? Or
I know he's still a young kid. You know what I mean? They put massive pressure on his shoulders. Like, Brighton's stacked with top fighters. He's probably one of the hottest names at the minute. There probably would have been a little bit better. I'd be putting that in terms of ability, skill, power, and like as an all-round fighter. That's a big call. That's a big call. You know what I mean? Maybe he's probably the best at what he does. You know what I mean? But like boxing as a whole, you know what I mean? There's some top fighters in this country.
do you think your experience is going to play a big factor in this fight? You've been all around the world.
Not in terms of, my experience because he's less experienced. No, but in terms of for myself, and being around the world, being experienced, and like being in front of hostile crowds my whole career. You know what I mean? Winning a world championship on the road, losing on a split to Unify on the road in front of 7,000 Mexicans baying for my blood. All that stuff. You can't just go back through it, but it all develops, and it helps you deal with nights like this and at the top level. And it's just another run on the ball for me now at this stage.
You mentioned, you know, fighting on away soil. Is that something you enjoy? You're obviously on away.
Yeah, it's zero pressure, isn't it? And they always seem to have me as the underdog, but they're always writing me off and this and that. But it's different when you're in there with me, and the real ones know. The real ones know.
And obviously, I know you're probably sick of talking about this Inoue fight. It's happened now. You're kind of over it. But do you have a point to prove for, like, since that was your, you know, that was your last fight?
100%. Because the ones, look, the ones that are saying, oh, that I just quit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things I need to shut people up in terms of that, because there's a big difference between, like, I don't know how to explain it, put into words, but it's like you quit. Oh, I don't want any more. It wasn't that. It was I had to put my hand up because I cannot continue. My back's fucked. You know, there's a big difference, and that's the shit I need to show. You know.
And what is your prediction for Saturday night?
Of course, predicting I'm coming away with the world title. I just feel so good. This going to be a performance that rolls back the years for me. It's going to be a very technical performance by me. And I just, like I said in the press conference, I got a massive bag of tools, and I think I've got everything to neutralize the wrecking ball.
If you do win on Saturday night, would it be a nice homecoming maybe in your future? Maybe in Dublin?
It'd be nice for something to talk about, you know. But I don't mind boxing on the road, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, whatever comes, you know what I mean? We get Saturday night out of the way first, and then we can start talking about that stuff when we stop celebrating.